And welcome back to my channel. So today I filmed a really fun and pretty back to school makeup tutorial. This is definitely more on the glam and dramatic side, but that's just kind of how I am. I always wanted to look really good for my first day back to school. I don't really have a lot to say in this intro, so I guess if you'd like to see how I got this makeup look, then keep on watching. So I'm starting out first with foundation. This is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation, and I am in the shade Honey Wheat. You definitely don't have to use foundation if you don't have like acne, scars, and breakouts. Then you can most likely get away with using a tinted moisturizer. Or if you didn't want to do like full foundation, just mix your foundation with a moisturizer and you kind of have your own tinted moisturizer. But I've just always kind of been a fan of a full coverage look, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Then I'm taking my Real Techniques sponge and just blending that out. Okay, moving on to concealer. So the concealer I always use is the Maybelline Master Conceal in the shade Medium. You don't want anything too heavy, so I would save the Tarte Shape Tape for another occasion. So I'm just going to squeeze this on my finger. There's literally like not a lot left in this, so gotta work with what I have. But yeah, so I'm just going to start by putting this right underneath my eyes. And I always let my concealer sit on my face before I blend it out. That sounds so terrible. I'm gonna rephrase that. I always let the concealer sit a little bit before I blend it out. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go do my brows. I'm not going to put that on camera just because it takes forever and everyone's brows are a little bit different anyways. So I'm using the e.l.f. eyebrow kit in the shade Dark, and I'm just going to fill them in and I will be right back. Alrighty, so brows are done, so I'm just going to start blending out my concealer. And then also apply some on your eyelids as well, just as like a primer, because we're going to do eyeshadow shortly after this. And then I also just put like any excess on my chin. Now this next step is totally optional and completely extra, but I like to personally carve out my brows, and I usually use concealer, but I bought this Makeup Forever quad kind of a while back, and I've been trying to use it up just because I don't really use cream products as much as I thought I would. So I'm just going to be taking this cream right here. It's just a concealer color. And I'm just going to take a brush and carve out both of my eyebrows just because I think it just looks a lot nicer. So you can Okay, so like I said, that step is completely optional, so I'm moving on to baking. I don't really bake, but I use the Makeup Revolution Luxury Baking Powder, and mine is in the shade Banana. Take some of that baking powder and put it on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take this angled brush from Tarte, just dab it in there and just start by patting underneath my eyes to set that concealer. And then also just putting some on my lid as well to set the area so that we can go right into shadow. So this is why I say I'm not baking, I'm just pushing the I'm just pushing the product into my skin. So it gives me that baked look without having to actually bake, because I don't really like the feeling of baking. And then whatever's left on my hand, I do that so I can get the smile lines a little bit on my nose and then also in the center of my forehead. Eyeshadow, I really struggled. I didn't know if I wanted to use the Modern Renaissance palette or the Soft Glam palette. I wanted to use the Modern Renaissance only because I know so many people have this palette. And they're really, really pretty colors, but I don't really see back to school vibes with this one. I mean, you totally could, but I think more for like a first day back, I think I would rather dip into the Soft Glam palette. I feel like this just has way more options for you to do more natural looks for school, so I think this is the palette we're gonna go with. Okay, so I want to keep everything kind of warm and neutral. This is still the warmer month, so I'm not going to do anything too cool. So the first color I'm going to go in with is this color called Sienna, and as you can see, it is my most used color, and I'm just taking a Morphe crease brush, and I love this color because it's so warm. So I'm just going to focus this right on my crease. And since this is back to school, I just got to be a little bit careful not to overdo it, because I have a tendency to just put so much color on, and it's very unnecessary. So I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush that doesn't have anything on it. And I'm just going to start blending just to really soften the color. Because we definitely don't want anything too harsh. I take this pretty gold color right here called Fairy, and I'm just going to take it on my finger. Oh my god, that is so pretty. And I'm just going to apply this on my lid. I find using my finger is the best way to apply shadows. I'm using the L'Oreal Carbon Black Linear Intense Liner. I like this because it has a felt tip. It is super, super easy to use. So I'm just going to do a normal wing. Moving on to mascara, I am going to apply false lashes, but I know that's not a lot of people's jam. So if you don't want to apply false lashes, I would just buy the Maybelline Falsies mascara. This works amazing to make your eyelashes look super big and voluminous, but I would just honestly rather go with lashes. It's quicker for me to throw on a pair of lashes than it is to spend 10 years perfecting my mascara. So I'm just going to coat my lashes just so they will blend better with the falsies. So I'm just going to do that real quick. And these are second day falsies, so I don't really have the packaging with me, but they're the ones that I use in a lot of my makeup tutorials. They're just called the Ardell Studio Effects Demi Wispies. And I like them a lot. False lashes are totally optional, but this video is how to look amazing for your first day of school, and I just feel like no amazing look is complete without false lashes. So obviously you don't need to apply these, but I personally am going to. So once I get to this point, I am at the home stretch and I am almost done. So the only thing I do to my bottom lash line is apply some mascara. I love mascara on my bottom lashes. I just think it's very, very pretty. And I don't like to apply shadow there, especially if you're going back to school, just because it just makes it look so much heavier. So just a little bit of bottom mascara is all you need. Time to finish up the face so we can get on out of the door. So this is a new product to me. If you watched my other makeup tutorials, I always used the Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Deep, but I was at Ulta and not Sephora and they didn't have Laura Mercier, so I am trying out the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder in the shade Translucent Deep. And I assume this should work the same. Oh, the packaging is gorgeous. Okay, so as I said, it's my first time trying this, so oops, I'm hoping I just put a little bit in the cap like that. And then I'm just going to take a Morphe Y9, swirl this baby around, and just bronze up my face. Alright, this is nice. I definitely don't like it more than the Laura Mercier. It's definitely like warmer. It has a bit more like red to it. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to try this one a few times. I'll let you guys know if I stick with this or if I go back to Laura Mercier. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see how this wears. I'm going to take a fluffy brush like this and I just blend it out. So next up is highlight. I'm going to spray my face with the Mario Badescu. This is not the rosewater spray. This is the cucumber, aloe, and green tea one. I like this one the best, and I carry it around with me all day, which I recommend if you're in school to carry a facial spray so you can spray a face throughout the day. But I love to spray it right before highlight. So I'm using the Laura Geller highlight in the shade Gilded Honey. Oops. And obviously for school you want something more natural than usual. As natural as highlight can possibly be. I'm also just going to take a bit on the Cupid's bow. And then I'll just take the tip of my finger and get cute little button nose. Okay, so for lips, I've discovered the most perfect lip combo. I wear this almost every single day. So the two lip products I use are both from Kylie Cosmetics, of course. I first go in with this color called Savage, which is a velvet liquid lipstick, and it's a nice mauve pink color. And to go over top of it, I use this other velvet liquid lipstick. This is from the Court collection, and this one is in the shade French Kiss, and I just like to go over top of it because it's such a nice baby pink color. Okay, so I start out with Savage. Next, I'm going to take the baby pink color and go right over top of it. Alright, so we are done with this entire look. Remember to finish by setting your face. That way you are nice and dewy and your makeup looks snatched. Okay, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are going back to school, I hope you have an amazing first day back and also an amazing school year. Be sure to leave me any video suggestions you have for me down in the comments below. Also be sure to thumbs up and subscribe on your way out if you aren't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.